Yo, what is good, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to another Knicks Media live stream. And today we'll be breaking down the Knicks' last 5 games. And they have won all 5 of them, folks. The Knicks are 15-13, the 6th seed in the East. And right here, we got the mid-3, as some people like to call them. I'm going to call them the big 3, the lucky lefties. Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, and Jalen Brunson, baby. Let's go. We're going to be breaking down their stats and go over the overall team and what to expect from here on out, because this Knicks squad, man, they're definitely coming out here and proving a lot of people wrong. So if you're just tuning into the stream, guys, for the first time, do your boy a favor. Hit that like button on your way into the stream. I genuinely appreciate each and every one of you guys. Subscribe to the channel if you are indeed new. With that being said, let's get right into it. So let's first talk about the stats that I got on the screen here. And then we're going to get into the chat, of course. We're going to hear from you guys. Julius Randle, I personally think it's time to put respect on his name. 28.6 points per game, 10.8 rebounds, 4.2 assists, 44% from the field, 36% from downtown in these 5 games. That's pretty ridiculous. There's a lot of reasons why they're winning, but Julius Randle is definitely a big reason for it. RJ Barrett, who started off the season very slow. And I think we can all understand that RJ Barrett, for whatever reason, loves to start off slow and then get his act together midway through December. RJ's averaging 21 points per game, over 7 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1.2 steals, which is great, 42.7% from the field, which is definitely an improvement. Not where I really want it to be, but it's trending in the right direction. 38% from 3, which is phenomenal. And 80% from the free throw line, which is a big-time improvement from RJ all season long, has been his free throw shooting. Remember, guys, this is the last 5 games. And then Jalen Brunson, who hasn't really been playing that well the last 5 games besides last night. 18 points per game, 6.2 assists, 1.2 steals, 38.5% from the field, and only 33% from 3. So that's the big 3 right here. There's also huge impacts like Mitchell Robinson, who is being the defensive anchor for the squad. Also, the menace on the glass that's getting these Knicks second chance opportunities left and right. Blocking shots, posting people up, dunking it down low, catching the Gotham alley-oops. Mitchell Robinson is a big piece of this team. Quentin Grimes, who has officially solidified himself as the starter, he is playing exactly how we want him to play, folks. Quentin Grimes is the prototypical 3-and-D player that you want next to these 3 players in Mitchell Robinson. Because Quentin Grimes, he sits back, he waits for the balls in his hands. Catch and shoot is getting better and better. Quentin Grimes is also not limited to catch and shoot, which is my favorite part about his game. It's not like only thing he can do is catch and shoot. He could put the ball on the floor. He can attack the paint with efficiency. He can finish through the contact. He's actually a really good playmaker. He dishes it down low to Mitch. He kicks it out. Not to mention his defense has been so freaking good. I don't have the stats off the top of my hand, but in this Knicks 5-game winning streak, our defense is top 5 in the league. Now, last night wasn't the greatest defensive performance from the Knicks, but the 4 games prior to last night, we are defensive gurus all of a sudden. And then off the bench, we got Duece McBride entering the rotation, playing great defense. Emmanuel Quickly, Hardenstein, Jericho Sims. I mean, even without Obi Toppin, we're still winning. I miss Obi. Hopefully he gets back soon. My biggest takeaway from this winning streak, guys, is simple. Tom Thibodeau makes the adjustments, and I think the coach deserves some credit, man. The entire coaching staff, not just Tibbs. We need to give the coach its dues. And I know he's a coach that a lot of Knicks fans are not big fans of, but you got to give credit where it's due, in my opinion. He made a big decision. Taking Cam Reddish and Derrick Rose out of the rotation is not an easy thing to do. And inserting Duece McBride into the rotation full-time is a big, big reason why this Knicks team is winning. Now, not to mention, we finally have a freaking point guard that can help us out in the clutch. How awesome was it last night to have a point guard to organize things and pretty much take over the entire overtime period? Every time we went down the floor, the ball was in Brunson's hands, and he was making something happen, whether he scored or whether he dished it out. He had 7 of the 11 points in overtime. And that last 3-pointer, that step back in the corner against Caruso, ankle breaker, Cash. Woo! Welcome home, Jalen Brunson. And it is kind of cool that, like I said, Brunson had a great game last night, but Brunson offensively has been in a little slump, and we're still winning without him. And again, not last night. Brunson had 30 points and 7 dimes last night, but prior to that, it's been the Julius Randle show. I mean, Randle's been unreal. I mean, look at those numbers, guys. He's playing like an all-star. Playing like an all-star. And it's time to give his credit, man. Corey's in the chat, says, hey, Richie, Evan Fournier got to go. Keep Emmanuel quickly. Cam Reddish has to go too. Yeah, I think there is definitely going to be a trade that happens. I don't know when, but there's definitely going to be a trade that sends Fournier and maybe Cam Reddish out. I mean, they're out of the rotation. They're good depth in case someone gets hurt, but it's obvious that Tom Thibodeau doesn't really like him. Why Obi never play? Obi is injured. He has an injured knee, so hopefully he'll be back in a couple of weeks. New York is red hot, and the offense was on point. The offense was on point. The Knicks are 5-1 this year when this big three right here all score 20-plus like they did last night. RJ Barrett at 22. He should have had more if he didn't get fouled out, which was a bogus call, by the way. So I'm liking this three, bro. This trio, very underrated. I mean, we're the 6th seed in the East, guys. Why can't we make the playoffs? I know there's still a lot of ball left to be played, but we're a third into the season. So we got a lot of games underneath the belt of the Knicks. And all we need is to get hot at the right time. This is the longest win streak that the Knicks have been on since April 2021. We went on that 9-game winning streak, which propelled us to the 4th seed to make the playoffs. So I think with Randle playing the way he's playing right now, with Jalen Brunson being that clutch facilitator to organize things, with RJ Barrett getting his act together from beyond the arc and being more efficient offensively, with Mitchell Robinson continuing to clean up the glass and getting second chance opportunities and playing good defense down low, with Quentin Grimes being that clutch 3-and-D player, with Duece McBride and Emmanuel quickly being that backcourt off the bench who are also really good defenders, the sky's the freaking limit here. Because if you're a team that can defend, you can beat anybody. Now, I'm not saying we're going to go out there and, beat every team and go on a win streak forever, but you can compete in this league, in the NBA, if you play hard-nosed defense and do not give up wide-open shots like we've been doing throughout the season besides the last 5 games, which is why Knicks fans, it's time to get pumped up, baby. Let's go. So these numbers are pretty cool, but numbers aside, what you like to see about this squad is it's a team effort. It's not one player or 2 players. It's these 3 and all of the rotational guys around them, which is the best part about this. And I couldn't be more excited. I mean, we actually have a trio here. They're all lefties, and they're playing pretty good basketball. And Knicks fans, it's been a while. I know there's still a long way to go, but there's a reason to be excited. And don't look into the future like, yeah, well, Richie, I think we should trade away Randle now while his value's hot. We're never going to win a championship with his team. Don't worry about that right now. Focus on today. Focus on what needs to get done. And what needs to get done is simple. Win. We're in a win-now mindset with this Knicks team. We're not tanking. We're not rebuilding. We are a win-now franchise that still has so many freaking assets in order to make a trade eventually for a superstar. Just saying. I know that we struck out on Donovan Mitchell. We struck out on all the stars in the offseason, and I get all that. And we might be better off if we traded for someone already, but we still got the assets. We got the young players on the roster still playing good basketball, and only thing I care about right now is victories, and that's what this Knicks team is doing. They're proving that they're not a one-dimensional team that relies on 1 or 2 players. They can beat you in many different assets. Julius Randle, when he shoots the ball the way he's shooting from downtown at 36%, I'll take 35+% from Randle any day of the week from downtown. When you're averaging 28.6 points per game, one of the games he dropped 27 in the first half and got ejected. He probably would have had a 40-piece if he stayed in that game. So I'm excited, man, and I think that this Knicks team has a lot to prove. I think we make playoffs, but can we sustain the wins to do it? We got a lot of the season left. Yeah, I mean, it's good that we're getting this type of confidence, and the thing that gets me excited about this, guys, is the rhythm. And forming an identity, because I felt like this team lacked identity early on in the year. We didn't know who we were. Because Tom Thibodeau is a coach that prides himself on defense, and we suck on defense. So it's like, okay, what are we? If we can't defend and can't simply defend the three-point line, and we're giving up 120 points per game, who are we as a Knicks team? Well, we're formulating our identity now, and that's defense. And it always starts there. Always starts on defense. So that's why I think this is sustainable, because with Quentin Grimes playing the defense that he's doing, helping out the communication, with Duece McBride's defense and Quickly's defense off the bench, with Randle playing like an all-star, I mean, I think Randle's proving that all-star season was no fluke. Last year, he was in his head. Randle's in a better space now. Jalen Brunson, not to mention, is a gigantic addition to the squad, and a lot of people forget that we didn't have Brunson last year, which is a big reason why we sucked. We didn't have a point guard to organize things. How awesome was it last night to have somebody that can just take control of the game and facilitate the rock and not go one-on-one, right? That Chicago Bulls team last night, who we're versing again tomorrow in Chicago, they rely way too much on one-on-ones. It's Zach LaVine going one-on-one ISO, or DeMar DeRozan going one-on-one ISO. They don't have a facilitator. That's a lot to do with Lonzo Ball being down, but they don't have a facilitator to organize things. When you have Jalen Brunson that goes out there and can be the floor general, a guy that can get a bucket or dish it, get an open shot for your teammates in the clutch, it opens up opportunities to win games. And when you have a defense that's playing the way that they're playing, especially late in games with 5 minutes to go, that's how you are going to grit out these victories, man. And Knicks fans, it's time to be excited. Let's go, baby. So, guys, if you could do me a gigantic favor, it would mean a lot to me if you can hit that thumbs up button, man. Really does help out the channel. I wanted to go live just a little bit to give you guys my overall thoughts of the Knicks 5-game win streak. Feels good. It feels good, but there's a lot of basketball left to be played. The season's not over. We're not in the playoffs yet. We are in the playoffs currently. I understand all that, but there's a lot of ball left to be played that needs to, determine if we are a playing team or a playoff team. And I like the way that this team has been responding to adversity. I think it really tells you a lot about this squad, that they can lose and bounce back with 5 straight dubs. I was at that Dallas Mavericks game, bro. I was at that game where the Knicks has collapsed in the second half. And ever since then, the Knicks look like a completely different team. Carlos says, Randle needs to stop taking the ball in the middle and jump passing. He is still causing turnovers at the most inopportune time. Yeah, Randle had 6 turnovers last night, which is bad. But he was protecting the ball up until that game. So he's definitely got to fix that. Randle cannot leave his feet and start jump passing. And I like the pass that he had when he was triple teamed down low, gave it to Grimes for the open 3-pointer for the win last night. But you're right, Carlos. He's got to get better at that. This is the best this team has looked since 2012. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can also say 2 years ago, but that was more like that 9-game win streak we went on. We were just gritting out wins and gritting out victories with the defense. And I think that if this Knicks team can really get back to that defensive mindset, we can be in the playoffs. And when you're a playoff team that plays defense, anything can happen, bro. Anything can happen right when you get into the postseason. So again, guys, I appreciate all the support. We got a big game tomorrow night. We'll be talking about that on the channel, of course. So I appreciate all the love and support on the channel. Hit that like button if you're not already. Subscribe if you're new. And I'm going to wrap up the stream here. Let's go, Knicks, and enjoy your Thursday night, everybody, and happy holidays. Peace out. Let's go, Knicks.